We live. We bite. They don't got no words in it.
I know.
Hey, we live. We bite.
Happy Sunday.
We live. We bite.
Hey.
Ain't no happy Sunday. Ain't no happy Sunday.
It's
we
a happy Sunday.
And we bothered.
We stressed. We are stressed.
What up, people? What up, folk? What up, people? What up, folk?
Dude, let's
Get started. Hey.
Happy Sunday.
What's up, folk?
Moving to the next topic. So earlier this week, I had on the 18th, I had posted a video of Music Soul Child Teach Me How to Love. And as I was just listening to my it's not my Apple Music. I be watching YouTube Music. Listening to YouTube Music. And it was on my playlist, and I really had a moment to just listen to the words, and I posted it in our group.
I was told the true definition of a man was to never cry, work till you're tired, got to provide.
You're not gonna play the whole song.
I'm not gonna play the whole song, but I want to hear this first verse.
And give you the things that you need, baby.
Sing, honey.
Our relationship is
suffering.
I don't remember the words.
You say I don't know how to love you, babe. When I say show me the
All
way.
right.
I ain't gonna stumble, man.
Go ahead.
Shadow them with my pride eye. I'm trying desperately, baby. Just work with me.
I can't hear you.
Show me the
Sing it in the mic.
my heart. Girl, I'm so lost. Yeah. Teach me how to love. Yeah.
He look like he's doing something, y'all.
Milli Vanilli.
Teach me, show me how to love.
All right, I'll turn that down. Listen, that song, I love that song when we were teenagers. That song was great, right? It didn't hit the way it did then like it does now for me. Because the first verse especially, when he said, I was taught as a man to never lie, to never cry, swallow my pride until the day that I die. Like, I need to be strong in front of you and everybody else. And, I can't be vulnerable and I can't be open. And that's usually how men are taught. That is how you're supposed to be as a man. And then, of course, because we love women, the opposite sex, we know that we want to be in a relationship with a woman. So we get in that relationship with the idea that that masculinity was taught to us a certain way. But we don't realize that woman needs everything opposite than how we were taught to be men. And we don't know how to respond in said relationship. And you usually get women, I hear this all the time, he just doesn't know how to open up. He just doesn't know how to communicate. He does not know how to be vulnerable. He doesn't listen well. I talk, but he's not hearing me. And when I heard these words in that song and the dynamic that it revolved around in a relationship, I'm like, oh, that is so true. And it brought up the question, do men need to be taught how to love, or is it something that we are supposed to expect for him to know how to do naturally? And from personal experience, there was, I don't know. I know
I expected you to know how to love.
Okay.
Because how don't you know how to love? Because when you think about it, just be considerate. The same way, I think that's the easiest way for me to explain love. Yeah. The same way, I can't say that because everybody want to have love differently. But the same way you would like to be considered in your endeavors, your action, you as a person, reciprocate that. If you want to be cared for, you need attention, you liked whatever, then reciprocate that. And it's just, when I hear certain women, just say certain things about their relationship or what they man don't do, or especially when it comes down to having a baby and the man bring the darn video game,
that was stupid. I heard that.
How can you not be considerate? And it's and how you mean you didn't know what to do? Is be there for me,
right.
Show up like you showed up in the bedroom, I just don't get that. And so it's I understand that, certain mindsets were, formulated as a child, or maybe you didn't see, like, I hear this before, I didn't see my father love my mom or whatever, but you know how you want to be loved, right?
Okay.
I just don't get it.
And some pushback that I would like to give towards my men is I didn't grow up in a 2-family household. I didn't see my mom actually loved by a man, but I wanted a family dynamic. I wanted to create that, having never received that growing up. So I get the excuse of hearing men say, well, I didn't see my dad love on my mom, because we kind of play into that. That's why we focus so hard on creating such a strong household that our children can see and glean from our love through examples so that they may know. So I get in some cases that may be the reason, but that doesn't always have to be, because as much as we like to live our marriage out loud in front of our kids, they may not choose this.
Yeah.
They may not want the marriage. They may not want the family. They may not want the kids. And we have to understand that, because there are nuances in everything, as much as you need an example, that cannot be an excuse for you not rising up to the occasion.
Thank you, because that's what I hear.
You have to step up and stop letting that define who you are as a man. Well, I never had no example. Okay, well, learn. It's common sense goes a long way. If I'm in the delivery room with my wife, she is bringing a baby into this world. I already did my job by saluting my soldiers the way how they were supposed to be, right? My work is done. Seed planted. Now her job is getting even harder, because it took her 9 months to even get to this point. Let's not go through the uncomfortableness, the sleepless nights, the sweats, the cravings, all that stuff she had to go through. I'm present. I'm seeing all this. We get to the room. My focus is on her. That's why she brought up the term consideration. And I actually, let me see if I can actually bring it up. Can I? No, I won't. I was going to bring up the definition of consideration, but I think I have to do it another way. But I'll just read it. Consideration, careful thought, typically over a period of time. You have to be careful. You have to carefully consider the person that you're sitting next to. And in the regard of the man that's in the delivery room, I don't have time to focus on me. I don't have time to worry about my needs, my wants. I don't have time for that. Why? Because this woman is bringing my child into the world. So whatever I feel like I want to do has to be pushed to the side. I have to carefully consider her needs and her wants so she can actually do what she is supposed to be doing, which is bringing that child into the world. That to me teeters on the line of common sense. She's in distress. I want to make her feel comfortable. She's hot. I need to make sure that she's cooled down. She is uncomfortable. I need to make sure she's comfortable. Her mouth is dry. I need to get her some water. That's being considerate, but common sense would tell you that you need to do that as a man.
But that's not the case.
That's not the case.
And not to generalize all men that way, but there has been a lot of talk about
there has been
just consideration, like, altogether. And we experience that sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, you remember a few weeks, maybe 2 weeks ago, when we went to Smash Burger and we had the little kids in the car.
Yeah.
And I was passing out everybody food and making sure everybody don't waste the sauce. And you were just divulging your burger, just chilling. My food getting cold. I'm making sure the kids taken care of. Like, Jonathan he got his fries right here. He got his little phone set up. He just eating his burger. I'm yelling like, please don't drop that sauce. Please do this. Oh, Mom, can I have more chicken nuggets? Boom, pass him back chicken nuggets. Oh, Mom, I need more fries. Boom, Jonathan just enjoy his whole burger. Top, but that been good. I'm like, can I just...
And then I had Dan just fuel the fire. I said, I love the roles that we naturally have evolved into, because I'm being the careless dad. At the moment, and you're being the over considerate mom at the moment,
trying to make sure everybody got what they need. Yeah. But I mean, so it's okay to have those moments because you driving, so because you were parked, it was sufficient for you to eat. So whatever.
So I can get back to driving because we were on a time crunch. But at the moment that you needed me, I got to drop what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I have to drop that burger. I have to drop that fries. I put my phone up and I consider her needs and her desires and her wants. And I don't know if this will bleed into the conversation of gender roles or when a man feels like he doesn't have to be a certain way or do a certain thing. But on the construct of love, man, because it's reciprocated, it's supposed to be reciprocated between one to another, then, gender wouldn't really matter in this. It's like you really being considerate to the other individual that you so-called quote unquote love. That's it. And I hear the women's echoes and the cries of saying, well, I shouldn't have to tell you. And I shouldn't have to teach you. You should just know. Like, why don't you? It's stupid. You don't see me in the bed. Why are you bringing a video game? You should just understand.
I mean, come on now.
I understand.
But y'all men are the main ones that complain when we're not considerate or when we don't understand something.
Like how we haven't had sex for not us particularly. I'm just using an example. Like how we haven't had sex for 5 days. You should know I'm horny.
Yeah.
Get it?
Stuff like that. Like,
Get
you
it.
should know. Like, no, I don't know. I don't know
Hold
nothing.
up. You don't have to poke your chin up.
I don't know nothing. I'm not going to assume. You know what they say about people who assume? No, I don't know. That's how us females should start responding.
Yeah, no,
especially if our man can't be considerate. I like what Renard just said.
He said that you have to step up as a man and be the example.
And that's the missing component. He should get a drop for that.
What kind of drop?
Like,
an applause?
No, I was thinking like boom, 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 boom.
Oh, you was up there? Hold on. I'm really not putting the applause on. But I do one of these for you too.
Yeah, that's what. That mean it was hoard.
Yeah, huh?
It was hoard. Like, the point was hoard.
Like you're hoarding something?
Hard, man, hard.
No.
You gotta say hoard.
It's hoard.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say.
Then you got hard.
But yeah, so yeah, you have to be the example, and that's the thing that most people don't want to be the example.
They don't because
I think they're afraid. They don't know how to feel. I think that's untapped emotions. Like if I never done this before, it takes a lot to just.
So what if it's this? What if this is an ego thing? Where you know how there's a stereotype that goes around and say, "Yo, what up, Rajon?" He say, "Yo, hey, good job yesterday too, brother."
Yeah, man.
I'm give you this drop.
And you gotta get them boom, boom, boom.
I'm gonna give you one of these. I'm gonna give you one of them. Bro, you did such a good job yesterday, man. Congratulations on actually meeting your said milestone, the $25,000 or goal. Sorry, a 25,000. You a trooper, bro. You a warrior. But what I was saying, does this kind of bleed over into the stereotype? You know how it's always said that men don't like asking for directions.
Yeah.
Or if we don't like, I say ego, so it's pride. My bad. Or if we're putting something together, we don't like to read the instructions. And for some reason, you even made yourself believe that I even am like that. And I was like, babe, by trade, I'm an electronics technician, right? I have been programmed to read tech manuals front to back thoroughly.
I think
because if I don't read manuals based on my job, then it won't pass inspection. And a large portion of my career was with the military, and if I didn't do it to spec, then it fails.
I understand that. I'm talking about those nuances when I'm seeing you and you're like Jimmy rigging.
Nope. Not when I'm building something from scratch. See, I probably had already read the manual.
Maybe.
And I'm putting it together. And then I'm going back to the manual to find out if I missed a gap. But I already read it through.
Okay.
See what I'm saying? But
Okay.
but that flows into the stereotype that men don't like to ask for instructions. They don't like to ask. And when it comes to the construct of love, I think that's the same thing as well. Like if I don't know, I think I should be grown enough to ask.
They know. Maybe they think that they're doing.
Well, that's a very dangerous place for you to be pridefully wrong. Like you can't think that you know, especially if you are in a relationship with another person. If you're in a relationship by yourself, you can say, "I know how to love," because it's just you. But if you're in a relationship with someone else, that's built differently than you, that have their own personality traits, their own temperaments, their own life's experiences. You have to ask, how do I love you properly? And this goes both ways.
I think it does.
You can't sit here and say, well, I'm going to do this expecting a response of love if that person does not receive love that way. I know we talk about Gary Chapman 5 love languages all the time, but this is why. Because the way how I receive love is usually how I give it. But if she receives love differently than how I do, my gift of love is going to go over her head or it's not going to impact her the way how I want to. How do I fix it? Honey, teach me how to love you.
What do you think?
That's it.
What do you think if you could be Musiq Soulchild for a minute, and as a man, not even being Musiq Soulchild, like why do you think he wrote that song or sung that song?
I don't know if he wrote that song.
Well, I switched it to sung that song.
So sung that song. I think because, again, based on this conversation that we're having, there have been generations of men that have been taught what love is supposed to look like based on someone else's example, and they have made that probably a part of their life. And what I think that he was trying to convey is we have to change the narrative of that men have been loving a certain way and responding to love a certain way. And to change that narrative, instead of just thinking you instinctually got it, ask, babe, how? Just teach me how to love you properly. And I like how he was vulnerable in that. Read the lyrics in the first verse.
Okay.
That's the thing.
All right. I was told that the true definition of a man was to never cry, work till you tired, got to provide, always be the rock for the fam, protect them by all means, and give you the things that you need, baby. Our
Okay.
relationship is suffering.
Boom. So we're taught that. And I even respond like that as a man because I'm a protector and a provider. But usually men get hung up there and stop. As long as you're doing that, then you're fine. You are actually fitting the bill of what it means.
Like working?
Yeah, you're fitting the bill of what it means to actually be present as a man, a husband, a mate, a father in the home. But then after he gave all these things of how he was programmed, then the caveat of that verse was, but our relationship is suffering. Hold on. If everything that you were taught as a man you're doing, why is the relationship suffering?
Because the word provider has been thrown around so much, but provider is just not only financially.
Exactly.
You know, I need you to provide, you know, emotionally. I need you to provide, you know, I mean, we need so much, and providing encompasses so much other things, but we only get hung up on, you know, how much money are you bringing in? Like, are the bills taken care of? And that's only a small portion of it.
It is.
And like, to not even get on the harp of like the career woman tangent again or whatever. But as far as providing, you know, nowadays us women are sharing in that. So
Right.
we need you to provide other things, and you have to understand what those other things are.
You know, in all honesty, and now I'm about to champion the career woman. Maybe you guys hard work in doing your job to separate yourselves from needing the financial support actually is good for the man. Because if you guys don't need us financially because you can take care of your own, but you still want us, then that forces us to look outside of the finances and the providing in that aspect to find out how other ways you need us to provide.
I'm with you.
Because it takes the excuse of finances away from us.
Right, it does.
Because a whole lot of men can't actually provide the way how we used to be able to back in the day, based on how the dollar has been devalued and gold is not backed by it anymore, and so forth and so on. That's another conversation. But we don't have that leverage 9 times out of 10 anymore.
I know, but I think that is what's also offensive to a lot of men, because that's the only thing that they know how to do well is provide. And if the woman can provide, then you stepping on what I'm bringing to the table. And I don't know, I may not know how to provide those other things. I may not be emotionally available. I may not, know how to give of myself, but it's easier to give my money,
Right.
So I think that's where it feels like competition, or you outside of your role, or stay in a woman's place because, now you're making me feel some type of way.
But
because I don't have
again,
nothing else.
If we're challenging the narrative, if we're challenging the perspective, that's what this podcast is all about. If you are not able to assume completely that role of providing anymore because the way how the world changed, then now it's time to evolve and adapt. You have to evolve and adapt.
Well, like Music Soul Child said in the first verse, the true definition of a man is to never cry and to work till you die.
He said he was taught.
Yeah. I was told the true definition.
I was told
yeah.
the true definition of a man. Those lyrics for me are so powerful because we get our training and our upbringing from somewhere. We get our definitions of masculinity and it's from somewhere. We get how to be a man from somewhere. So I like the first line because he's saying, hey, I was told this, but our relationship is suffering. What did he say after relationship is suffering, babe?
He said, our relationship is suffering, trying to give you what I never had. You say, I don't know to love you, baby. Well, I say, show me the way.
Facts.
I keep my feelings deep inside. I can't, it's hard for me not to try to sing it. Shadow them with my pride. I'm trying desperately, baby, just work with me.
Yeah. It's so much in that to unpack, man.
It is, and it's so much in the fact is that the true definition of a man is to never cry. To never cry says so much about your emotional response to things. Is the reason why your feelings have been bottled up. It's the reason why you can't communicate certain things and you mask your hurt. And it's a lot in that. And so when it comes to relationship, you can't give of yourself. So because it's easy, because you can't give of yourself because you don't know how to deal with yourself and your own emotions. So that's probably why the relationship is suffering.
I absolutely love the fact that he had the ability and the strength to say, babe, show me the way, because men won't say that, but men will actually live everything he's saying. So that's a rare form of a man, to be able to identify his gaps, be able to communicate them and say, hey, babe, I need your help with this.
Yeah.
9 times out of 10, men are not going to say that.
No.
But this goes back to, I think, our toxic masculinity conversation we had, the dangers of toxic masculinity, available on every podcasting platform. If you want to catch up on that, shameless plug. Goes back to that conversation when I was saying that women have the ability to get a man to a place of emotional response, because that's usually how a man has been groomed about his masculinity.
Right.
Don't cry, keep it balled inside, work hard, provide, so forth and so on. So if we know that 9 times out of 10 is the story of a man's life, why wouldn't a woman?
I was about to bring that up because I was championing, I think it was Michelle at the time that was saying it's not our job to teach you.
Right.
And that was out of frustration because
you was mad at me.
No, it's not that I was mad at you. It's just that we're trying to teach you, but we're trying to teach men mostly that's not at this breaking point. Music said, teach me how to love. We're trying to teach men how to do things that's not saying teach me. Because, so we're like, dealing with that. He said, show me the way to surrender my heart. Girl, I'm so lost. I try to sing, teach me how to love. How can I get my emotions evolved? Teach me, show me how to love. And when you're trying to, even the scripture that talk about, trying to deal with a stiff neck, person. You know what I'm saying? It drains you. So it's like, if he's not at this point to say, teach me, then, he really can't be taught.
Can't be taught. Dang.
And I think that's the difference in those scenarios because, us women, because we're fixers, we bear certain things and, we're there for that type of support. So we willingly give that, but we give that at the wrong time. And then it becomes contentious.
And any men on here, and if you want to cut this up and edit this, ladies, by all means, you can, because I'm about to come at my guys like I always do, right? My men, my brothers, my men, if you feel like you don't need any fixing when you are in a relationship, you are wrong. You are absolutely
now.
wrong.
We have our little areas there.
Now, of course, you guys have your little areas, but A lot of times when I'm hearing men, it's always, point. And I'm like, well, bro, and I ask provoking questions. You ever thought it was this? You ever considered looking at it like that and this and that and that and this? But it's so hard to get them to come to a place of reflection, to own their own stuff, personal responsibility, because in their mind, they don't need to change. But no, you have to think about how we have been conditioned and the examples that we've been given. 9 times out of 10, you're gonna have to learn how to pivot and shift.
They don't know to change because they're being what they believe they're supposed to be.
If you are in a relationship with yourself, then that will absolutely work. But if you are in a relationship with the opposite sex, you will come to a point where you have to change and pivot. Your ideals have to change. How you respond has to change. Your ambition or your intuition may have to evolve and change, because you're dealing with a woman, the most frustrating created creature on the face
You sure about that?
of this earth. I'm feeling it now.
You so funny.
They were created for such a time
To frustrate y'all?
as this, to frustrate us. My hair is no longer there because of this woman. I'm just playing.
We got a comment.
Okay. I was in a vein, man. You
sorry.
can't be cutting me off, man.
I'm sorry.
I was just playing anyways. We have a comment. I think that you can teach a person to love. Maybe that person has never been loved, so they don't know how it feels to be loved or to give love. I agree. That's literally the whole thing.
Yeah.
Because the song he was telling her, teach me how to love you. I don't know, maybe when women hear me say you need to teach the man how to love, that you guys are teaching him how to love generally, with the fear that he may leave you to now show
You
that
have
love
some
to
women that
somebody,
really feel that
somebody
way,
else.
that they build a man up just to go to somebody else. But that's all subjective. We ain't want to go down that road.
Because there's a lot of things that could be said. Like, are you sure that you were meeting the mark like you were supposed to, sis? Anyways, what that song was communicating, that I believe wholeheartedly, is she was teaching him how to love her. And a lot of females that I talk to ask me specifically from their build, well, why does he say this? Or why doesn't he know how to do this? Shouldn't he be responding like this? And they're asking these questions from their build, their personality, how they respond to life. And I'm like, well, sis, did you ever tell him that this is how you expect for him to do it?
No, and they just expect them to have it.
Right. They usually say, well, not really. What do you mean not really? Well, I kind of know you. No, I mean like being 100% explicit in your feelings to that man. You can't expect a man to pick up on anything that you're trying to put down if you have not been 100% clear. Now, once you have been 100% clear and you put the onus on that man, now it's his job to now meet where you are trying to get him to meet you at. But you've done your part. But you can't expect, if you haven't even communicated, for him to honor what you're trying to say.
Facts.
Communication is key. Now, I don't know if this sister in this song actually did it.
No, but we talking from this point of view.
Yeah,
though.
we're talking from this point of
There's
view.
another comment.
Here's another one. There's a general idea of love surface level, then there is love that is intentional. Intentional love communicates what's exactly is expected, in my opinion.
No, I agree with that opinion.
Absolutely agree.
And that's why we always say communication is key. But I guess because we say it as a blanket statement and we don't detail it out, maybe that's how it's missed.
I think that both sides deal with pride.
I agree with that.
So because both sides deal with pride, the lady's response is, well, I shouldn't have to. That's a prideful statement.
That is a prideful statement.
Because vulnerability would have you to see that man in his deficit, than for you to view him Dang, I can't remember. I was going somewhere with that. That actually was going to be a very powerful, impactful statement, but I lost it. I don't know. It went blank like that.
Well,
Maybe it's age.
But I want to read the second verse real quick, and then I want to I might add a little different kind of perspective.
But I wasn't finished with my thoughts.
You lost it.
Yeah, but you ain't give me a chance to get it back.
Go ahead.
Vulnerability would to have you to see that man.
You making this part up?
No, I'm trying to get it back. I was there before, man. Stop doing me like that.
Okay, go ahead.
Would have you to see that man in his deficit and would allow you to push pride aside for his benefit. Because if you teach him, then you are the benefactor of the training.
Mm-hmm.
So push pride aside to elevate him.
I don't even think the pride coming yet on our side. From a woman's perspective, our pride coming at is when, because this is how, and I'm gonna just use me and your marriage as an example. I mean, even before we got married. Okay. So, ours was a little different, but just bear with me. Okay. So you were loving me the way I wanted to be loved. Right. So everything was good. You know, the challenge came in, the real fight was when you knew how you wanted to receive love, and it was your turn to teach me how to love you back.
Yeah.
And that's like where things hit the fan. I'm ready to divorce because I had this idea of what the relationship was supposed to look like from my perspective. But once you start identifying, hey, I like this. Hey, I require this.
You're right.
So it's all cool in the beginning as long as we're teaching you guys how to love, because that's how it usually is first, because you're still trying to win our heart.
You're right.
But once you guys get in that pocket with us and now you're ready to, be like, hey, boom, for me.
You are absolutely
Boy, I
right.
had a hard time with that.
And you did.
Because I never understood that there was a requirement for me to cater to you. Besides bringing you your food, which I had no problem with.
That would Beyonce say.
Let
me cater to you.
Yeah, I mean, that was easy part. Fixing your plate, doing that type of stuff. Those things were easy.
Right.
When I take my plate to the kitchen, take yours. Made me feel like I was doing the 9 yards. But when you started making like requirements or suggestions and tell me like what you didn't like about what I was doing.
Yeah.
That was like really hard.
How to love me emotionally, because I'm damaged. There has been a lot of life experiences that I've been through that I didn't realize would have impacted me later down the road. Trigger words, things that, just a lot of stuff, right? And I'm like, hey, you got to relax on this. You can't say those things. You can't do those things. You can't respond to me like that, because I'm really trying and I'm giving an effort. But every time you either say and or do the things that trigger me, it's not good. It's very bad. And I don't want to go backwards. I want to continue to go forward. Yeah.
That was hard.
That was hard. It's still hard.
It's 2 weeks ago.
It's
real.
It's real.
Very real.
Relationships and marriage especially they're real. They take a lot of you, because you have to give so much of yourself to the benefit or the detriment of the relationship. The more you give, the more harder it's going to be. The less you give, the harder it's going. Dang, I just heard that. So the more you give, the harder it's going to be. The less you give, the harder it's going to be.
Yeah, but it's two different
because it's two spectrums of hard.
Yeah, because you have to understand, we are constantly evolving daily as individuals.
Yes.
Which makes different requirements in the relationship daily as well.
Right.
So if we are constantly moving the goalposts, that's the term you and Horace like to use, because we're growing as people and we're coming to like the realization of certain things. Like what you understand about your past trauma and your post-traumatic stress today, you didn't understand when we were married, 10 years ago?
I didn't.
So therefore now you're pulling something else out of me that I gotta remember and tally and make sure I respond the right way too. So because we're constantly evolving, it takes the relationship to constantly evolve. And
Yeah.
I know I ain't the same as I was yesterday because I just fool up like that. So I can understand, how it takes so much out of the individual, because once you think you got it and you meet that, it's like, oh, something else I gotta learn, or something else.
Well, I tell you what, I was born with a set of eyes that worked real good until 2013. Well, they just stopped working, and I had to get corrective lenses.
Yeah.
And as soon as I got the corrective lenses, I could see again. But what if I got mad at my eyes and be like, bro, I got used to you working. I mean, why you ain't working no more?
You better stop.
Hit my eyes. Why you ain't working no more? No, I had to do what was necessary to adjust so that I can see better. And, a lot of times that's how relationships work. You just got to continue to buy a new set of glasses, so you can see clear. The relationship is always it needs to be seen through the lens of 2020. But sometimes you have to clean the lens, adjust the prescription, or just get a new set of glasses. But you have to do the work. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
So you can see clear.
Pretty much.
Because I was born with these eyes.
Yeah.
These eyes should work.
And it was working.
Yeah, just like how you were birthed the way how you was, and you were working fine until I asked you to adjust your view.
Yeah.
You just had to put on a set of glasses, sis.
That's it.
That's all I'm asking you to do.
Yeah, but sometimes wearing them glasses is hard.
It is, until you ain't got them and you realize you need them.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I hope that analogy was good.
It was. I got it.
You got it.
Yeah, I don't know if everybody else got it.
I know I definitely got them, because Jesus Christ, if I ain't got these things here on,
I be teasing him, y'all.
Lord
when he
help
be
me.
walking around without his glasses, I be like, you can see me?
See
When
what I'm
I
saying?
do that.
What? Don't antagonize me, man. I can see without them. See, I can see.
Not, you can't read.
I can read the stuff on the screen here. Like, look, Haven said, please, Benjamin Button, you were born older. Nice. See, I saw that.
You can't see far.
I can't. I'm nearsighted.
Everything started to get blurry.
I'm nearsighted. But
Yeah.
yeah, that was the analogy. Go ahead and read the second verse.
He said, I was always taught to be strong. Never let them think you care at all. And that's that hard part that I didn't understand. Like, where did that come from? How y'all not supposed to care? But then y'all are
Don't care about these holes.
Yeah, but y'all care about the boys. I mean, isn't that the reason why most men are predominantly join gangs and be a part of those types of groups?
We can measure loyalty from the same sex. Our boys.
Oh, so that's why y'all go harder for them than
because we know how we move. We know how we should respond. We know how we operate. I know, if I say something to you, how you supposed to respond if you're a man. I don't know if I say the same thing to a female, how she's going to respond, because I'm not built that way. So it's easier to measure how a man moves. And because I can measure that, I'd rather just stay with him, because I know how I know how to protect myself against him, because he responds the same way I do. You guys don't. You're built differently. So I can't protect myself against you, because I don't know how you would operate. I don't know how you would respond.
Okay. He said, let no one get close to me before you and me. I then shared things with you, girl, about my past that I'd never tell anyone else. Just keep it to yourself. Now I know I lack affection and expressing my feelings. It took me a minute to come and admit this, but see, I'm really trying to change now. Want to love you better. Show me how. I'm trying desperately, baby. Hey, teach me how to love. But I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I think we did a good job summing it up.
Yeah, I think so too.
We just have to be taught, and we have to give time.
And y'all have to be willing to be taught.
We do. And for the sisters, I'm not telling you to give your all to a man that's not willing to. That's not what I'm saying.
Not at all.
If he ain't willing and you're trying, by all means, go on. If he ain't trying, by all means,
your time is valuable.
Yes, and your mental wealth is valuable as well. That man ain't there to actually grow with you. Exit stage left. But for the man that's there that actually wants to grow with you, that's desiring a relationship with you, but has not been groomed in the art of effective communication or how to do a relationship, stay with him. I didn't see thoughts. Stay with him, work it out, and you guys grow together.
So I just posted something maybe a few minutes ago in the podcast group. And I had found this little meme thing in another marriage group. It says any man can treat a lady right for one night, but it takes a great man to treat her right for the rest of her life. And
Bars.
bars. So go ahead.
Bars.
Elaborate on that one.
Well, we do what we have to do, go out of our way to get that woman for that one night, because all men want what we want. And that's why I tell y'all women to stop giving yourself to these men so haphazardly. Forget you got needs. Go get a rabbit. I'm just tired of seeing our women.
A toy, not an animal.
I think they kind of knew what that meant, babe.
You can't assume.
I'm just tired of seeing our men use our ladies and leave them with the emotional toil that comes with that, because you guys have shared something that usually, people that actually care about each other share. It's more than just an act, So just, protect yourself, because we're going to go out of our way to do what we want to do.
Yeah.
And once we get that, we usually go. Make that man work for it. Make that man actually show that he cares for you outside of what your body is built for and what your body is used for. Mm-hmm. Because it takes a certain type of man to love you the way how he would love you to get to that glory road, the same way down the road. It takes a certain build, but you only find out what that man is capable of with time. With time. So just take your time, respect yourself. I know you got needs, but take care of yourself until you know that man actually is going to be there for the long haul. That's it.
So, speaking of treating somebody right for the long haul, I'm pretty sure that y'all group members had saw that somebody had posted about, what's the guy name?
Babe.
What?
You about to talk about something else?
Yeah, why?
Oh, go ahead.
We'll have to wrap it up, though. I gotta get back to homework. So, what's his name? Darren Jacks?
Derek Jacks.
Yes.
I can't stand that dude.
Why you can't stand
I
him?
can't stand him. Can I hit him with one of these first?
Why you can't stand him? I think we deserve an explanation of why you can't stand
Bro,
him.
real men don't like pandering guys. It's all a play. I feel the same way sometimes about Steve Harvey. It's like
Don't come for Steve
Okay,
now. Don't
okay.
come for
I
Uncle
like
Steve.
Uncle Steve, but
Don't do that.
Derek Jacks, or whatever his name is, it's like he over panders to women to get an emotional response, because he's doing it to give himself the accolades, or to put himself above measure, or whatever the case may be. It's too much pandering, man.
People would feel as though you pander, right?
No, I am objective, because as hard as I come down on my women, I come down equally as hard on my men. But it's always the man's fault. The man need to do this. Woman, ain't nothing wrong with you. Women fine, so forth and so on. And I responded to that post. I said, as a husband and a father, being that I have made that mistake myself, I would hope that he will recover from it, to learn his lesson, to never do it again, if he's trying to grow. If he ain't trying to grow, I said, F him. I'm glad it happened. I did.
Jonathan.
No, I'm serious, but I gave the precursor before I said that.
Yeah, but it's kind of like the word "but," like when you cancel everything.
Because I don't know what his intentions of cheating was.
Okay.
Men
But
it
you
happened.
want people to give you the benefit of the doubt, right?
That's why I said what I said in the beginning.
Okay,
I said if he made the mistake, I would have hoped that he would never do it again. Use this as a moment to grow from, learn, and evolve.
Yeah.
To continue to love his wife, because we fall 9 times out of 10. We are. That's just what happens as man. But if he did it because that's just him and he don't care to grow, F him. Good for you. Because you can't sit here and point the finger at all these other men, but you yourself know you had stuff that you needed to work on and were trying to mask. It's like throwing a rock and hiding your hand. You saying all these men trash, this man this man that, and you just like us. You ain't no better. You're not above reproach. That's the energy that he always gave up, like he was above reproach. And I would hate that when he would record in his car and he had his little car seat in the background, sending a little subliminal message that he had it all together. Look, I take care of my kids. I got my car seat in the car. Man, F you, bruh.
I mean, you see, you got a lot built up.
No,
there.
I do. I don't like him, seriously, because he does not give a balanced perspective what it means to be a man. And that's why when I said we're going to do this podcast, I make sure that I give a balanced perspective as a man, because yes, we have a lot of work that we have to do, but women also have a lot of work that they have to do. And if we can work separately.
She even said sound went out.
How you mean sound went out?
I don't know. She just texted me.
Boy, I'm confused. Y'all can't hear us?
Okay.
Her sound went out.
We got it, Haven.
I don't know.
You.
Well, thank you, sis. Thank you so much. If we both have a lot of work to do, men and women, you work individually so you can come together and be whole collectively. But every video was man this, man that, man this, man that. It's like how can you throw your own gender under the bus as if you have it all together? And that's what I can't stand. It's like the house Negro, for the sake of trying to be politically correct.
Yeah.
The house Negro being still a Negro, but looking at all the field Negroes as less than. I know that may be an extreme example, but that's the best thing that I can think about. Like, you forget that you are the same as everybody else you're ishing on. Mm-hmm. And that's exactly what he did. And that is why I had a strong contempt against him. Like, bro, you are still a man. What a dingaling. You still got evolving to do as a man. You have not reached your destination, my brother. So as much as you want to hold the fire to the man, make sure you're showing your vulnerability while you're doing that. And that is why I'm so open with mine. I'm so open with my downfalls. I'm so open with my lack and being vulnerable, because I understand that I have not arrived.
Gotcha.
I'm still working. So I would hope that when a man sees me and hears me, he doesn't get the idea that, oh, he think he better than me, because that's what every man that watches that man's material feels like. He thinks that he's better than us. And bro, you not. You can be brought down to size because you're not as high as you think you are. And this scandal is his bringing down. And I would hope that he can learn and that he can change his message.
Do we really know if it's true?
I don't know.
Oh.
But listen, when it comes down to the internet and scandals, I'll believe it until it's proven otherwise.
Tony Cannon had made a comment that I thought was interesting. He said people like him and Uncle Steve Harvey, just do what every media outlet does to black women, bank on their pain. And that's what you were saying.
Yes.
To sell a product to black American women, you only need 5 major factors. Number 1, Jesus. Number 2, to talk bad about black men.
Man.
Number 3, make a weak simp look like a hero. Number 4, money. Number 5, appeal to their vanity. And to those that will dispute this, go no further than your favorite movies, music, books. P.S. Them dudes never practice what they're preaching. So,
Yep.
think Tony wrapped that up.
I think he did a great job. You feed on the insecurities of the one. You continue to victimize them. You continue to make them feel that they are okay in their victimization without you showing a balanced perspective.
And maybe that's why, even subliminally, or why it was hard for you when it was your turn to teach me how to love you, why it was so hard. Because I didn't have the expectation that I needed to work on anything. You know, far as I know, hey, you make me happy, you should be automatically happy.
Whatever, man.
No, I'm just saying.
I know what you're saying.
I'm not saying that to be funny, but for real. But because I love you, I have to learn to consider what you're feeling, even if I don't understand it.
That's a fact.
You know, like I didn't understand me telling you no, or always questioning about money was really bothering you. Like, so now I understand why women of old be like, just let the man be the man. I'm like, for what? Like, How you mean let him be the man? What does that mean? I didn't know what that means. But now I can compartmentalize that. Okay, let him have his space. Don't try to correct everything he does.
Right.
Let him do it his way.
Hence, don't son me.
Yeah, don't son me. But we don't see it as son. We think it's as partnering.
I don't care how you see it.
I know.
I'm telling you how it feels.
I know. But then outside of our relationship, I'm giving so much props outside of our relationship with me being that way. Like when I'm that way at work, I help save the company money. You're not
in a personal relationship with the company.
But that's what I'm
business.
trying
You have to separate business.
I got it. But that has become my zone. You know what I'm saying? That's became the way that I operate. And then that's
Get
the
out
way
the zone. Eva zone.
But I'm just saying, because
saying,
I'm beefed up all the time and that's my vein. So I'm thinking I'm helping you.
Right.
And another part about, allowing somebody to teach you is understanding the boundaries that they set.
Real.
And that's hard.
That is. Because you have to say, well, should I respect the boundary? I shouldn't have to. But I mean.
So some of them boundaries be dumb. Do. Like your socks? What?
It's my socks.
Is that a real thing?
That's a real thing.
I don't get it.
Because it's such a real thing, I got a hard
pipe that
time.
Down,
No. There's a sore spot for me now. And then the audacity, right? She'll wear them.
Hold up. We ain't supposed to talk about us.
Oh.
But anyways, like for example, right before this live, Jonathan was eating pizza. I asked for a bite of the pizza. Well, I asked for to finish the slice he was already almost done with. He almost had a fit. Like,
bruh.
Like then, you've been full.
I wasn't full.
You gave me the last one.
I gave you the last one to be nice. And then check this out. I give her the last one and she destroys the pizza by taking off toppings that were on the pizza. And she was like, well, all you got to do is just take just eat the toppings that I took off. I wanted the toppings to complement the slice.
But that when it was your slice, now that it was my slice, it's different.
I shouldn't have gave it a slice. That's all I'm saying. I'm sitting here trying to be nice.
You can't control once you give it away. I mean, I don't understand the big deal.
But you can control your begging.
How you mean?
Don't beg for my stuff.
Jonathan, we have a sharing relationship.
Let my food, ladies, and we only got a little bit on, and 9 times out of 10, y'all women, let your man food be his food.
He only remember that when it's his food, but he subconsciously eats off my food that he doesn't even realize how often he does it.
I don't do that often.
Okay, so all right, for the rest of the day, when we eat and I don't finish something, I'm going to call it out.
Okay, now, as history,
I'm not talking about. I eat more than I used to before, but it's certain things I don't finish.
History has shown when you don't finish your food, what do?
Throw it away.
You give it to me.
No, I don't have to.
Yeah, not no more because you eat more.
No,
but I'm talking
no. Back in the day, I did used to give it to you.
Yes, you did.
But like I said,
so I didn't have to eat off your plate.
Going back to the point, the boundaries thing. I just think some of them are dumb. Hence this conversation right here.
He even say we share everything. How?
Exactly.
How? Huh? How?
Because we do.
So just because y'all share everything, I'm supposed to be okay with you eating off my plate?
I don't understand why that's a big issue.
It's an issue because y'all don't respect men's boundaries. Y'all think it's we.
Okay, this is
I used to jokingly tell Eve, I said, when you start speaking French so much,
that's not
we. No,
babe.
Oh, we. Well, I need to stop saying that because we in French is I. Right? Or we is yes.
We is yes.
Oh, my bad.
You so funny.
Stop saying we.
This is the thing. Y'all don't realize how much y'all offer y'all stuff to us. And then because you offer it initially and then we just go back for it, you think that's an issue.
We don't offer our food. I know that for a fact. Or how about, no, watch this. Watch this.
I think we're done.
Babe,
for the
you want something to eat? No, I'm all right. You sure you don't want nothing to eat?
Now, give me my credit. Lately, for the last minute, when I said I didn't want anything, I really didn't want anything. Come on, give it
The
to me.
last 2-3 times
No.
out of 15 years.
No, it was longer
Watch
than that.
this. It got
it's
so
been longer
watch
than
this.
that.
Hold on. It got so bad, right?
What?
It got so bad with the food thing with her not knowing what she wanted.
I said, just
She
bring me
told
something.
me
I said, just bring me
she
something.
said,
No
"Just
matter
bring
what
me
I say, just bring me something that you know I would eat. Hey, I had to buffer it.
This is so horrible. So you can sit there and tell me no. But just say bring me something even if I say no.
What's wrong with that? That's a buffer. It's to protect your food.
Why not?
It's to protect
Man,
your
we having
food.
too much fun, man. I
Nah.
just will never understand that. And you ladies will never, that will be a boundary y'all will never respect. And I don't understand it, but
But babe,
I just choose.
How often you offer your
babe,
food though?
I do it the buffer.
Babe, even like if you got something on your plate or if I'm in my office, you would come with your little spoon. Come on now. Come on, you will come. Babe, I just really want you to taste this real quick. Come on. Come
Watch
on.
this. Hold on.
What?
I do that so you will taste how good it is for you to fix your plate. Not for you to say,
Did you communicate that?
why I gotta communicate?
Did you communicate that?
Babe, you said it, Jonathan. Now I have to applause. I ain't no applause. This is my drop. No.
That's what you do.
Listen.
Do you say that?
Why do I have to
And
say?
then I'll turn around and say, hey, babe, would you fix me some? He'll put his little shoulders down and turn around. Like, why do you do that? Oh, when you had get me taste your food, you had fix your food, and I said, can you fix me some? When you did, you left it on the stove, and I was like, you didn't dish it? And you was like, no, I heated up. What was that? And the girls was eating that up because I thought you had literally like dished my food.
I did not. You told me.
Like, yeah, I'm like, what in the world?
You told me to fix you some. I had to heat it up on the stove.
Yeah, but I wasn't out there with you, so
Wait.
I didn't see what was
Okay,
going
first
on.
of all,
So fixing me food means in a plate, right?
No,
y'all?
it doesn't.
Oh,
In that
that
case,
doesn't
hold
mean
on,
a
hold on.
plate. Okay.
In that case, you were busy upstairs. If I had fixed
I
it,
was
it
in the
would have got
office.
cold. No, you weren't. That's
okay.
not how that went.
Okay.
You were busy upstairs with the kids. So if I had put it in a plate or on a bowl,
Did
it
you
would have got
communicate
cold.
that? Did you communicate that?
I warmed your food up, bro. You
No.
can
I
dish it.
came down. I came looking for my plate. Like, with my food. The girl eating up. Daddy ain't fix you nothing to eat. I'm like, what? Yes, he did.
Yes, I did. I did.
No,
It's
you
in
did not.
It was on the stove.
It
All
was
you
not
had to do
fixed.
was fix the food.
It's all right.
Oh,
What Haven
anyways.
say?
She didn't say nothing.
Oh, yeah, she did. She said, oh, hit the applause.
Nah, hit no applause. These are my drops. You don't get no doggone applause. I think we done exhausted.
I know, because I got to go back to homework. Hey,
Yeah.
you guys, thank you for tuning in with us today.
Thank you. It was hard to have this conversation today, y'all. We fought through it.
We did, because your girl
But-
is tired.
Man, and I am too. I'm
But I
sitting.
think we talked about some good points.
I
so.
think we did too. No, that's too loud. I'm sorry, y'all, if that's too loud. I think we did talk about some good points. Don't be afraid to teach your spouse how to love you
Or your significant other.
or your significant other.
Do it in the beginning.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
don't get all invested 2-3 years and then want to, work on the foundation at that point.
Yeah, man. Let it be known. Share your boundaries, your likes, your dislikes, and and for the other person, once it's shared, even if you don't agree, just learn to respect it, man. You have to, because it may be small to you, but it may be big to the other person.
Like you fixing my plate. That was big to me.
Or like you not eating stuff off my plate. That's big to me.
I don't eat off your plate. The only thing that I annoy you with is when I want a sip of your soda.
Yes.
Because I can't finish a can. I just literally just want that little teeny little
Y'all,
fizz.
that little bit that she takes is the whole can to me.
It's not.
Because
It's not.
that drop could be the last drop
No.
that could save me from choking.
If you say so.
And how do I know that I won't choke on my food? And
I'll
she
get you some
selfishly
more.
took one drop away from me.
Just one drop.
That-
But don't be a lot. You be swearing it'd be a lot. I'd be like, what
I
is he
just
ta-
don't like her eating and drinking my stuff. It's mine, bro.
But you remember one of our first real dates? You drunk out of my drink and then offered yours?
I did. I was testing you though.
Oh, okay. Well,
was
I was
testing
testing you too.
No, 15 years later, you still
Hey,
testing
still
me?
testing then.
Oh, longer than 15.
I don't know.
How? Oh, pop quiz.
17.
No, we ain't been together 17 years.
Okay. We be married.
18.
You're wrong.
I'm right. 18 years.
Count it up.
Right, 15 years old, right?
No, we was not together at 15.
You was.
No, we were friends at 15.
18. I'm
No,
right.
You're wrong. We both had other relationships.
Yo, we joking around, right? But this is something she seriously do. She does these pop quizzes with me, and I think she even has a list in her phone now of questions that she
I do
asks
not
me.
have no list in my phone.
How long we been together? How long we been married? What's so and so date that we went on our first date?
I'm trying to keep you sharp.
For what? You got the man. What you need to keep me
I'm
sharp
just
for?
trying to keep you sharp. But, you don't know what may happen.
What? I'm going to go in a hostage situation, and the only way I can get out is to answer questions.
I might make you a hostage. And the only way you can get out is by answering the question.
You are wild, man. You crazy. I love you though.
You
All
better.
right, y'all. It's been good. We tired. We about to leave y'all. Remember,
Our kid's about to be mad.